three mystery players, three mystery righties, because I think that these are three guys that could help the Phillies bullpen in 2026. And as I said, I don't think people are going to like this, but the Phillies aren't going to spend a ton of money in the bullpen this season. They added Joan Duran. I think that they're comfortable with their top five. I do think that they're going to add, and I think it's going to be more important than the $14 million spent on Joe Ross and Jordan Romano this past offseason, but I do think they're going to add at a lower cost. So what I did was I went to Spotrac, which is one of many contract websites, but it is one that I value, and I found three relievers who, according to them, their market value for 2026 is going to be under $10 million. Now, I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask Ethan. I want to know your guys' thoughts on all three of these relievers. So, Ethan, why don't we get to mystery reliever number one for the day? This pitcher made 64 appearances in 2025, pitched to a 3.62 ERA. I don't think that 44 is right. I think I messed that one up. I apologize, Ethan. I think I may have messed that number up there because I don't think it was 44 innings pitched. No, sorry, it's 64 and 2/3 innings pitched. That's my bad. I made this graphic, so my fault. 72 strikeouts, just 20 walks, just above a 1 whip, a 1.02 whip. Did give up 46 hits. The issue, that last line you're going to see a recurring theme is a downside statistic or trend, was in the first percentile in ground ball rate in 2025, which obviously, Ethan, did not play well at the ballpark that this guy pitched at, and I don't think it's going to play well at the ballpark at Citizens Bank Park. But you see a lot of red there. There's a lot of good. Generates a lot of chase, gets a lot of swing and miss, gets a lot of strikeout value. I think his computer numbers were better than his season. And the reason that I think this guy is going to be available is because his 2024 was way better than his 2025. He had 103 strikeouts in 84 innings in 2024. That number came down to 72 over 64. The whip was up. The ERA was up. I think the velos were down just a little bit. Chase rates and whiff rates were down. They were good in 25, but they were down compared to 24. I think this guy, and according to Spotrac, this guy is his market value is just under 10 at 9.9 million. I think this guy's going to get more than his market value. With that being said, do you have interest in this player?
So,
by the way, all three of these guys that we're going to mention are right-handed relievers.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they're in the market for a lefty.
So my thought with first percent and ground ball rate, this doesn't imply, or maybe it does imply more so, that do they give up a lot of home runs? Is that kind of...
This player gave up 10 in each of the last two seasons. So he's given up 10 home runs in 149 innings pitched. So he's given up one every 14.
Okay.
That's not a bad number.
Yeah. For a little more than 10?
I would say, again, Spotrac has him at 9.9 in fact. I think he's going to get a little bit more than that. Because last year was a good year. It just wasn't as good as the year prior.
It's so tough because my first thought is also, let me see the other two, and then I'll pick between one of them, but I obviously can't do that.
Really two-pitch mix. Sprinkles in a cutter and a slider, but he's mostly fastball changeup. I'll give you the splits really quickly just to give you an idea of, obviously, mostly changeup goes to against the lefties, but he threw 100 of them against righties. Opponents hit 129 off the changeup last year. 27 strikeouts, just 5 extra base hits on the changeup. It's a good pitch, but mostly a two-pitch pitcher.
1 year, 10, probably. I could get behind that more than some. You give me a little bit of a teaser into the rest of them. I'm curious who this is.
This is Luke Weaver from the New York Yankees over the last 2 seasons. Since converting to a relief pitcher, he's been significantly better. Gives up some hard contact. 90 miles an hour on average last year was his average exit velo, just the 30th percentile. But again, his metrics were better than what his season told you. Like his expected average was 195, expected ERA 2.98. I expect this guy to get paid pretty handsomely. I have a lot of interest in Luke Weaver in the middle of the Phillies bullpen. I would put Luke Weaver in between Orion Kerkering and Joan Duran.
Yeah, I can get behind that. Yeah, he was pretty good last year, and I think even better in the first half, and then kind of tailed off a little bit. So I mean, obviously some work to be done there, and whatever that might have caused that, long-term fatigue,
Sure.
whatever that might be. But I don't mind it.
All right, so let's get to pitcher number 2. Mystery reliever number 2 made 49 appearances last year. Didn't qualify. That's why you see some of the Baseball Savant page blurred out. But a 2.98 ERA, pitched 42 and a third innings over those 49 appearances. Low walk rate, just 8 walks in 49 appearances, 43 strikeouts. The whip is a little bit high because he gave up over a hit per inning pitch. The negative on him, he will be 40 in the 2026 season. So you see the good. Obviously, again, it's a little bit blurred out, so it's a little bit harder to see on this one. The good for him generates a heck of a lot of chase, doesn't walk anybody, just a 4% walk rate. Everything else is average or slightly below average, keeps the ball on the ground significantly more than the other guy, but obviously lacks some of the other intangibles, or the other tangible stuff, which makes sense. He's 40 years old. And no, it's not David Robertson, I promise you.
Yeah, he's older than 40. I think by profile, I don't know. The age is so hard, but the numbers are fine. I mean, especially low walk rate is something I always appreciate, and having much stronger command in your very limited appearances.
Last 3 seasons, 1.05 ERA, 3.45 ERA, 2.98 ERA, ages 37, 38, and 39 seasons. He's still pretty good.
Is this Kirby Yates?
No, it's a good guess. It's Chris Martin from the Texas Rangers. Will sign a 1-year deal with Boston 2 years ago, the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. He gave up 6 runs in 51 innings pitched in 2023.
He was pretty good.
He's been really good. Cutter, fastball, splitter, sinker mixes in the sweeper a little bit, but heavy cutter reliance. Does a good job of getting both lefties and righties out. The cutter obviously was thrown mostly to righties, having it run away from the righties. Gave up a 310 average to righties on the cutter, but the 4-seam was much better, 231, splitter 200. Whiff rates were okay. I'm not expecting him to give up a whole lot of swing and miss stuff anymore. But even heading into his age 40 season, I would have traded for him at the deadline last year. Yeah. This was obviously before Joan Duran and all that. Like, I was thinking about piecing the bullpen together. I would have traded for Chris Martin at the deadline last year. He's going to be 40, which obviously is the big knock. But his last 3 years have been really good.
Yeah, and if he can, still show that velocity is up and, not having the kind of typical tail off that a lot of pitchers have, I wouldn't mind. I can't imagine he's
his projected value $6.7 million.
I'd do that, yeah.
I think I'd go up to 8 with him.
Yeah.
All right, last player. Here's the interesting one. This is the last player. These numbers all come from 2024 because he missed the 2025 season with a shoulder injury. 69 appearances, a 3.15 ERA, 46 strikeouts, not a lot of swing and miss, 1.18 whip. Did give up 51 hits. The thing he does well is he has a heavy fastball. He throws very, very hard, does not get barreled a ton, keeps the ball on the ground, but does not generate a whole lot of swing and miss. This guy, you're banking on A, returning from injury, and B, keeping the ball out of the air in a pitcher ballpark at Citizens Bank Park. His market value is all over the place because of the injury. I've seen as low as $2.5 million. I've seen as high as almost $9 million.
Wow.
I'd be interested to see if he gets a major league deal. I think he might. But what do you think about reliever number 3?
The keeping the ball in the ballpark in a very hitter-friendly ballpark is very concerning. Injuries are really tough to judge. Especially from an outsider, not being someone who actually knows what is happening and in these recoveries and diagnoses. I'd still probably go 3rd on the list.
Sure.
Out of the other 2.
So, like I said, this guy had a really strong 2024. Was crucial to his team down the stretch.
Well, who was the team?
The Detroit Tigers.
I'll know it when you say it, but it's not.
This is Jason Foley, who was generating a ton of interest at the trade deadline 2 years ago. They were having a ton of back end of the bullpen issues. He really stepped up in a big way. Obviously they kept him because they went on the run and then didn't pitch last year. He is going to be 31 during the season, younger than the other two guys. But you're talking about having to take a chance on a bounce back shoulder injury.